So why is it that people don't actually dance at dances anymore? The reason that I chose this question today is because I believe it was last weekend I had the utmost pleasure of attending my school's junior-senior prom. I went with my best friend Andre, and that's typical because we always go to like dances and parties and stuff together because we like to dance together. When I say dance, I mean we actually dance. And people typically like to watch us dance, so part of the reason why we enjoy going to these dances together so much and dancing for these people is because we like the hype of everybody like, whoa, look at those two people actually dancing at a dance as opposed to just talking and grinding on each other. We went to prom, and this was the first time that, one, the songs we requested weren't even being played, so the songs being played weren't very acceptable in our eyes, and two, no one was actually watching us. And I mean, we would have understood like 2-3 people even watching. And I mean, it's partially our fault because we didn't really dance to that many songs because, like I said, there were a bunch of crap songs playing. My hypothesis is that they were too busy being a part of this giant mass of sweaty teenage bodies clinging to one another in the center of the dance floor. And I know that's a really strong visual that I just gave you there, but I did that on purpose so that you can imagine the horror that we had to go through on that Saturday night. They were twerking and grinding to Thriller. You don't do that. And I mean, I'm used to seeing people grind at dances because it's inevitable. It's always gonna happen. But you know you've reached a certain level of you need to stop when the girls have their hands on the floor and they're pulling up their dresses and you can't tell whose hands are whose and they're going all up and down a girl's body while she's supposed to be enjoying a nice little prom night with her cutesy boyfriend. Just because you go to prom doesn't mean you have an excuse to turn into a Class A hoe. And the next Monday everyone comes into school like, oh, prom was great, it was so fun, I had such a good time with my date, we bonded so much. No, the only thing that was bonded was your butt to his crotch. So I don't want to hear y'all talk about prom ever again. The most common questions presented to me by my friends who are not of color have to do with my hair. And if you haven't noticed yet, which I'm pretty sure you have, I'm hoping you have, because if not, I'm thinking you need to get that tested. Like maybe you have some like issues with connecting differences. And my hair is different. It looks natural. People are like, oh, I like when you have your hair natural and stuff, but this is not natural at all. Like I had to go through 2 hours of having my hair rotted and sitting under a hot dryer to keep my hair curled like this. Like my hair, it's not naturally straight or anything, but it's not naturally curly. It will naturally frizz, but it will not naturally be curly. Like, see this little curly cue right there? That does not happen without a whole lot of pain and time. I did it like this so that I could dance. My hair will, like I said, frizz up on the back of my neck because I'm sweating like crazy. So I was like, I'm going to be proactive this year, this dance, and I'm gonna have my hair up so I don't have to worry about it all night. Now when I went into school, I expected like 1 or 2 people to be like, oh hey, new hair, but not everyone freaking out and like going zombie and wanting to touch my face and my hair and like people saying, I wish I could have my hair like that. And it went on like that the whole week. I didn't go a single day this week without somebody saying something about my hair. I don't do anything to this hair, it just says it's gotten frizzier as the days gone on, but literally I do wake up like this. That brings me back to my original thesis of this video, which is the fact that most of my white friends have asked me something about my hair, even when it was still straight. You have 2 kinds of non-black people. You have the non-black people that are all about touching black hair and they think it's so interesting, like the texture, and they want to feel it and they want to get used to it, stuff like that. They think it's so interesting. And then you have the non-black people that are terrified to touch your hair. They feel like if they touch your hair, you will get mad at them and explode, or like your hair will spontaneously combust, or their hand will get lost in it, or something like that. The thing about natural black hair is that, of course, it doesn't really affect guys. Guys don't really have to worry about it. It's mostly a black female natural hair thing. My hair, even when it's straight, is completely natural. I don't get it permed, I don't have weave, I don't do anything like that. It's just my hair with a little curl on the side. When I was younger, I always wanted to have white hair because it's like, you know, it's so like silky and it's nice and it blows in the wind and it's all like you can style it all these ways and you can change it colors and you could make it a lighter color without looking like a Duracell battery or something like that. In more modern times, people are trying to thicken their hair and curly hair is becoming more desirable than it once was. So I'm really pretty nonchalant about my hair most of the time. I mean, there are some good things about having black hair. Like I said, it can be like this or it can be straight at any given point in time. Some bad things about black hair: most of the time black women don't even have black hair. They have like little tufts of hair, and I know this because I go to the beauty shop. They have little tufts of their natural hair still left, and then they get a weave braided in, and that's most of the time horsehair, Indian hair. Sometimes you have white hair, but it's mostly, you know, one of those three things, and it's rarely their own hair. The main thing that most white people and people of any other ethnicity really that aren't familiar with black hair seem surprised about when I tell them is that black people do not wash their hair every night. Because if we washed our hair every day like y'all did, our hair would look just completely horrid, because if it loses its oil, it will become freaking grass. Those are just general black hair postulates. Y'all, the black female hair struggle is so strong. We cannot go swimming. People invite me to the swimming pool and stuff like that, and I'm like, yo, I'm sorry, I cannot go with you, my hair. And I just feel so bad. I have not gone swimming in years. And even when I did go swimming when I was little, I had to wear a stupid swim cap. Like, I went to summer camp and you see all the like nice little like white and Indian and Asian kids like swimming around in the water, looking all happy with like their hair like all wet and slicked back, and like they fling their hair like the little water droplets fly up, and like I'm sitting there with like a freaking blue bald cap on, looking crazy as hell. But you could still stand miles away from that pool and be able to point out every single little black girl in there because of that bright, shining looking swim cap on her head. I remember all the hours I spent sitting under this hot comb, getting burned like once every 5 minutes so that I could have even somewhat straight hair. The tugging and the yanking of the tangles in my hair, I got used to it because that's what I had to do. And you know what? I'm glad those days are over. But I will not forget. The black hair struggle is real. And I appreciate every single word that everyone's ever said about this hairdo right here and my hair when it's normally straight. I appreciate all comments to my hair. And to all my white sisters out there who don't quite understand the black hair struggle but still appreciate black hair, I thank you for that. I'm sure everyone appreciates comments to their hair, but just think about the extra mile that most black women have had to go to maintain whatever hairstyle they have, okay? So next time you see a black woman, black girl, black anything, except for the men because they don't know the struggle, compliment her because she will appreciate it. And don't ever pretend like you're gonna pour water on a black girl's hair, because that ish is not funny. You will lose your life.